you're going to grow your gym next year, you need a plan. I'm Chris Cooper. This is Run a Profitable Gym, and today I'm going to walk you through the steps to building a 12-month plan. I'm going to tell you the things that you need to repeat over and over, and I'm going to give you some things that you can plan to help get more clients, increase your ARM, and improve retention, and even pay yourself more. Look, every coach knows that their client needs a goal, a plan, and somebody to hold them to that plan if they're going to be successful. And the truth is that it's the exact same for a gym owner. Two Brain Business is the largest mentorship practice in the world for gym owners. And at this time of the year, every single gym owner in Two Brain, there's about 930 of them right now, work one-on-one with a mentor to start with, what's your goal for next year? Do you want to make more profit? Do you want to put all your coaches through the L3? Do you want to invest in a bigger facility? Do you want to buy a building? And then they set that goal and they work backward to build a plan to achieve it so that every single client has their own unique step-by-step, month-by-month, week-by-week, day-by-day plan to get there, and a mentor to hold them to the plan. Today, what I'm going to show you is how to build a plan for your gym. I'm going to give you a sample, and I'm going to give you a guide that you can use to work alongside with me. To get this guide that I'm going to be showing you, just go to gymownersunited.com and you'll see it right there, and you can just ask me for the guide. Okay, so with no further ado, let's talk about why you need a plan. So here's a broad overview of the annual plan that we're going to build together. Now keep in mind, this is not customized to you, but I've got a lot of the elements in here that are important cornerstones that a lot of gym owners actually forget about. And so we're going to have them. You can add things if you want to. My suggestion is that you focus on 2, maximum 3 things a month, and that you do the most important things over and over and over instead of trying to add new things. One area where a lot of gym owners really get overwhelmed is they're trying to keep up with all the novelty that they see other gyms doing. Like, oh, if I don't jump on that Instagram sell by chat strategy right now, it's going to be gone and I'll have missed it and everybody else will have done it. You know, you're getting like FOMO, you're getting like overwhelmed, you're getting stressed. It's more important, I promise, to do the basic things really well over and over than it is to try and do everything or try and do the new things. You know, my gym, the sole marketing strategy of my gym was the blog and the email. For the first 15 years it was around. We didn't run a Facebook ad because we just didn't need to. And so today, what I've got in this annual plan that I'm going to show you here are a lot of the basics that you should be repeating over and over if you want to make your business great. Okay, so if you want to build something that's specific to your gym, starting with your numbers and the numbers that you want to hit, book a call with my mentoring team and we can get this going before the new year even hits us. Okay, here's the sample annual plan that I want to give you. If you have no other plan, this plan is the best plan in the world for you. Okay, so first off, in January, we're going to audit your funnels. We're going to take a look through your 4 different marketing funnels, and we're going to say, here's what's working and here's what needs to be fixed. Because the reality is, at that point, there's no sense starting anything new in January, and there's no sense starting anything new until you've audited your funnels. Then I'm going to tell you how to do a nutrition kickstart to get things going. In February, you're going to do coach evaluations, and you're going to set up a bring a friend event. In March, you're going to run the intramural open, and I've left the rest of the month wide open for that. It's a lot of work. In April, you're going to do goal reviews. In May, you're going to do an offsite seminar and some career roadmaps. In June, you're going to come to the Two Brain Summit, I hope, and also link up through a local event with some other gym owners or even some other entrepreneurs. In July, you're going to be worried about your Google business profile and setting that up. You're also going to be setting up your Google ads. Might as well do those 2 at the same time. In August, you're going to be setting up some specific ads for like the surge, and you're going to be doing coach evaluations again. In September, you're going to be doing goal reviews with your clients again. In October, you're going to start your end of year promos, and you're going to do another nutrition kickstart. In November, you're going to do career roadmaps with your staff and build your annual plan for 2025. And in December, you're going to run an in-house competition. Now, I'm going to break those things down. Don't worry about pulling over to the side of the road if you're listening or like scribbling them all down. We're going to go through this step by step, but it's all in the guide too. All you have to do is go to gymownersunited.com, raise your hand, say, hey, I'd really like that annual planning guide, Coop, and we'll give it to you. I'll DM it right to you. Okay. Now, it wouldn't be Two Brain if I didn't give you the step-by-step on exactly how to do this stuff instead of just giving you the idea or telling you you should do it. So let's go through this step by step. January, we want you to do two things. I want you to audit your 4 marketing funnels and do a nutrition kickstart. Your 4 marketing funnels that you should be running all the time are referrals. You need a referral pipeline. You have to be active about referrals. You should have a strategy for content marketing. You should have a strategy for organic social media marketing, and you should have a strategy for paid advertising. Now that might be Facebook ads or Instagram ads or whatever, but you should be investing in something that's going to bring you clients every month that you can measure. So what you have to do is take a look at each of these 4 funnels first. And so you could say, let's talk about our referral funnel. The top of the funnel is obviously your current clients. Are you meeting often with your current clients and asking for referrals? The next step down that funnel is bringing that client and their referral in for a 2-on-1 workout. Do you have that set up? After they're there for the 2-on-1 workout, are you doing a no sweat intro with the new client or with the referral? And then are you selling them on your program? That's how you set up a referral funnel. Now, if you're not sitting down with your clients, then the first thing you have to do is book some goal review sessions or book appointments to sit down with your clients and ask for referrals. We call this affinity marketing in 2Brain. There's a step-by-step guide in our program. You need to get good at this funnel before you get good at all the other ones. Look, ad costs, no matter where you live, are going up. If you're in Europe, the EU right now, Facebook is testing an option where people can opt out of ads for $10 a month. You need to get good at getting referrals. Even if you're in Canada like I am and Facebook ads are still working extremely well here, having a good referral network doubles your return on every dollar you spend on ads because every new client who comes in through an ad becomes 2 clients through referrals. So you need to do that. The next thing you need to do is go through your other 3 funnels and say, what is at the top of the funnel? What is getting me attention? And then, am I converting those leads into my website? And then from there, are they booking appointments and are they showing up and buying? You need to audit that for all 4 funnels. And again, those 4 funnels are referrals, organic social media, content marketing, and paid ads, okay? If you have a mentor in 2Brain, you can go through this step by step with them. Don't worry if it feels overwhelming. The next thing that you have to do is you need to make sure that you've got some kind of nutrition kickstart going for January. Look, in a perfect world, all of our clients would be making nutrition appointments with you every month and they'd be paying $300 or $400 to do that. The reality, after doing this and collecting data on it for the last 7 years, is that your clients either don't do it or they don't do it for long enough to make meaningful changes. You're better off to start with a nutrition kickstart in January, have like a 28-day challenge of some sort, off the couch, off the carbs challenge. You can call it whatever you want. You can have a habits-based challenge of drinking water, getting protein at every meal, whatever that challenge is. Start them with that challenge, and then you can convert people into ongoing nutrition coaching or habit coaching after that challenge ends. So whether you've got a nutrition program or you're just starting one from scratch, or you have no plans to ever run one, a nutrition challenge in January is great to get your clients focused, back on track, build some hype and excitement, and get them back in the gym. For me in January, it's cold outside. At 5 a.m., we can't run a class because cars don't start when it's that cold. But everybody needs excitement in the gym in January, and you want to get people in. In fact, you can even tell them to invite their friends to participate in this and use it as part of your referral strategy too. All right. Now, if you're in 2Brain and you've got this book, you can click straight through the book and go, bam, straight to the actual exercise, the tools, the templates, everything that you need. You just click right through here. If you're not in 2Brain and you want to start in 2Brain, by all means, just book a call with my team. In February, I want you to do 2 things. I want you to evaluate your coaches and run a Bring a Friend event. So why evaluate your coaches? The only way that you really make your staff better is by doing constant evaluations. Now, you're not here to say, are you good or are you bad? You're here to say, did you start the class on time? Was there a fair amount of energy and enthusiasm in the class? Did you look happy or did you look tired and burned out, etc.? Basically, you pull up the staff contract that you've got in that coach, you look at all the bullets in that contract, like all of the instructions, and you rate those things on a scale of 1 to 10. Or you take out your class SOP, your standard operating procedure, your class checklist, whatever you call it, and you rate the coach on each one of those items, 1 to 10. Did this happen? Then you sit with the coach and you say, okay, here's where you're best. Here is where I'm going to help you. Like I'm going to mentor you and give you some help. And here's one other thing that you can do to improve. Okay. And that's it. That's how coaches get better. They don't get better by learning or taking courses or attending seminars very much. They get better through feedback. And I'll give you a tip from my own experience. If you wait to give this feedback until you're mad or until there's something wrong that needs to be corrected, it's too late. You're going to go into these evaluations emotional. You're better to schedule these for February and tell the coaches they're happening in February so that you can enter that conversation, with guards down, nobody feeling defensive or nobody feeling judgmental. If something bad happens, like if I walk next door into my gym right now and I see it's filthy, the class is boring, or there's no music playing or something, and I say, hey, after class, let's sit down and talk about it, you know what's going to happen. They're going to get defensive. I'm going to be mad, etc. You're better to schedule these events in advance. I also, in February, want you to run a Bring a Friend event. So you've got people in your gym probably in January, or people are all hyped up because you've run that nutrition kickstart, or there's a lot of reasons that February is a great month to start with referrals. And so what you do is you run a Bring a Friend event. This is a one-time event, like a Bring a Friend Friday. You can bring a friend to any class or personal training session on Friday. And this only works if you do it every quarter. I can remember like 2010, we were trying to do this every week and it just completely backfired. Number one, there was no sense of specialness or urgency to it. So people would just say, oh, I'll come next week. Or you would get these people returning and like coming in every single week just to do the free class and crushing themselves and getting nowhere but never joining. Or, something else would happen, right? And it didn't work. So what we found in Two Brain is that a Bring a Friend event works best if you do it every 3 or every 4 months. So 3 or 4 times a year. And that's it. You want to hype it a month in advance. So if you're working on your plan, you want to be talking about this in January. There's no sense running a Bring a Friend week. Like there's no value in running a week instead of just a day. A day is definitely enough. People will like it or they won't. The reason that people tend to run like Bring a Friend week is because they think, okay, now the client will get a deeper understanding of the product and the product will sell itself. Look, when you run a Bring a Friend event, you can't just run a great class and then stand by the desk and say, okay, I'll take your credit cards here. That doesn't happen. You have to run a great class, definitely, or run a great session, and then say, now let's talk about your goals. Sit down and do an NSI with the client or they won't convert. And the whole point here is not to expose people or give a free sample. The whole point is to convert people into going to your gym and saving their life. So again, if you're in Two Brain, you've got your staff evaluation instructions, videos on how to do it, templates to follow, and the Bring a Friend event kit. You can download the entire kit, set it up step by step. Here's how to promote it. Here's how to do fun little add-ons like protein tasting challenges, stuff like that. And you can just click the link right in this guide. So if you're tuning in late, you can get this guide just by going to gymownersunited.com. And what you're looking for is our Build an Annual Plan guide. Just raise your hand if you're in that group and you can't find it, and I'll make sure you get it. Okay, let's move on to March. Okay, in March, I want you to run a fun in-house competition that lasts 3 to 4 weeks. We call that the Intramural Open. And in my gym, we're a CrossFit gym, so we align with the CrossFit Open. We try to schedule our Intramural Open the same time that CrossFit has their CrossFit Open. Not as important as it used to be, but what you'll see is that thousands of gyms worldwide combine the two things, the CrossFit Open with the Intramural Open. The Intramural Open came from basically my high school, which was a lot like Hogwarts in that we were divided into these 4 houses, Kings, Knights, Aces, and Panthers, and you competed every day at 1 or 2 things to get your house points. And at the end of the year, the Panthers would always win because that was my house. I'm just kidding, but that's what happened. And so around 2011, we started doing the same thing. I guess it was 2012 at Catalyst. As soon as the CrossFit Open was released for the first time, I said, oh, I know how to do this, and broke everybody into 4 teams. And we give you step-by-step instructions every year in February so that you can just follow that guide. So look for that guide when it comes out. That'll be in Gym Owners United. And again, if you're in Two Brain, you've already got all this stuff and you can start setting it up now. You've also got a lot more detail and in-depth instructions and help from other people who have done this far better than I ever have. And that's really like the point of Two Brain is, at first it was, I would have an idea and share it with other people. Then other people would build on it, make it better. And we'd bring in their ideas and we would test everything. But over time, the evolution is such that the material that we give in Two Brain now is 100 times better than I ever made or ever used at my own gym. Okay. In April, I want you to do 30 client goal review sessions. Now, these are hard for a couple reasons. They're hard, number one, because you have to schedule them and you have to sit down. They're hard, number two, because there's no clear path to how this is going to grow your business. And they're hard, let's face it, let's be honest, number three, because you might not know if your clients are actually getting results and you might not welcome their feedback. But the reality here is that if you want to keep clients long-term, you need to sit down with them every 3 to 4 months. You need to have an appointment. You need to measure their progress. And then you need to say, if there's a way that I can speed up your progress, this is it. It's up to you, the coach, to tell them how to speed it up. When somebody buys coaching, just like when they buy business mentorship, what they're actually buying is speed. They're not buying information. They're not buying the programming, the workouts, the community. They're buying speed. They want to get to their goals faster, and they're willing to pay a coach to get them there faster. But if you don't measure their starting point and measure their progress, then you can never really make sure that they're getting to their goals as fast as possible. Now, what can happen in these goal reviews is you sit down and you say, hey, since our last meeting, you've lost 6 pounds. High five. I'm so proud of you. Is that in line with your expectation? Or, are you happy with those results? Are you perfectly satisfied? And if they say, yeah, I'm fired up, I love this gym so much, well, great. You pull out your camera and say, I'd love to share your story, and you have them record their story and you share that with everybody else. If they say, I wish it was going a little bit faster, then you say, okay, well, as your coach, if I wanted to speed up your results, here's what I would recommend. A nutrition plan, a personal training session once a week, or you come more often, whatever that is, right? Now, what will happen there is the client either invests more money into your recommendation, or they say, I don't want to pay more. I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. And either is fine. But we are not diligently doing our job as a coach if we don't ask them and present the options to speed up. And so that's something that a lot of coaches miss. They think I'm just going to run programming. I'm just going to run classes every single day. Classes are going to be fun. They're going to be hard. They're going to be intense. And people will just gradually make progress. But the reality is real coaching means that I'm going to get you from here to the goal that you want to achieve as quickly as possible with a goal, a plan, and somebody to hold you to that plan. But the first plan is not going to be perfect. And so every quarter or every 4 months, we're going to review your progress and alter the plan and just keep sighting in that rifle until it gets better and better and better. At Two Brain, we call that the prescriptive model. And now you know why goal reviews are such a big part of that. Okay, so that's April. And Two Brain clients, there's a process for this. You can follow it. You can get some role play instructions. You can get some videos, templates, things to ask your clients, all of that right in the Two Brain modules. Now in May, what I want you to do is host one offsite at a client's workplace and do one career roadmap session with your coaches. So an offsite seminar is you look at your best clients and you say, what do they do for a living? Who works with other people who would do really, really well here? And I often give the example of an accountant, but you could use the example of a salesperson at a car dealership, any service professional really, who works with in an office or who works with other people who would make good clients. Nurses, very popular option. Whatever it is, it has to be an audience that you're passionate about helping. So let's use a nurse example because I've done this with nurses a few times. So you might notice you've got a group of 3 nurses at your 6 a.m. class every single day, and they're very, very stressed out. They've been burned out since COVID lockdowns and they're still burned out. And you say, man, I love you guys so much and I want to help you more. What can I do that will help all the other nurses on your shift? Because I know the stress is bananas right now. What if I came in at shift change and I just showed them how to relieve stress, or 10 stretches that they can do 3 times during their shift, or how to pack and eat a healthy lunch, something like that, healthy habits, would that help? In my case, the nurses have always just said, yeah, awesome. Even cops said yeah for a while. And so I would just find a time to go in with them, check with like the head nurse or the supervisor of that shift. And I would go in for about 10 minutes. I'd give them some briefing, show them some stretches, whatever they needed. And then I would just plop down a business card, or these days we would just show like a QR code. Here you go, take a picture, and I'm going to give you something for free. All right. One time, I'll tell you this story really quickly. This was amazing. I was in an office for insurance brokers doing this. And, we do a little talk. It's about nutrition in the workplace, stress reduction, and like, any questions? And this woman puts up her hand and she says, "Hey, I saw you coaching hockey. You were on the other team's bench. And by the third period, your kids still had tons of energy and our kids were dead. What was that?" And of course, there's some laughter through the room because there's so many hockey parents here. And I was like, "Oh, I give our kids a 1-page eating guide called How to Feed a Hockey Animal, and their parents can take it. And it's very basic. It's like, don't get your kids donuts and Red Bull on the way to the game, And she's like, "Well, how do I get that?" So this is the insurance broker. And I said, "Oh, I'll send it to you." And then 5 more hands go up, right? Like, we all get that. And soon that became like a really powerful lead magnet for us. But you find these things by going and talking, and you expand your influence and your network and your client caseload by meeting the friends, the families, the coworkers of your current best clients. So I want you to set that up in May. Two Brain clients, I've got step-by-step instructions on like how to figure out where to go, what to say, presentations that you can just copy and paste and use if you want to, and then how to get people to book an NSI with you later. The other thing I want you to do in May is hold a career roadmap session. So what you're going to do is sit down with each one of your coaches and say, it's like a goal review. You say, are you completely happy with your progress here at the gym, Catalyst? And they might say yes, they might say no. And you say like, hey, perfect world. If you had nothing else to do, how much would you want to coach? Are you coaching as much as you'd want to? Yes, I am. And for the full-timers, I'm like, are you completely happy with the living you're making here? And if they say, I want to make more money, then that's what we do. We spend the next 30 minutes breaking down, here's how to make more money. And I'll tell you, this annual plan is a real help because you can say, well, here's some opportunities. We're running an intramural open in March. We could run an open prep class in February and get people ready, and you would collect a percentage of that, etc. If they say something like, oh man, I love working here, but the evenings are killing me. Great. Well, let's talk about different options for you. If they're a personal trainer and they're like, my book is full, I'm so swamped, I can't work anymore, but I don't know how to make more money. Let's start converting some of your PT clients to semi-private. Remember, you as the owner can serve as a mentor to those coaches. You've been where they are. And unless you want them to go out and start their own gym like you did and become maybe a competitor, you need to mentor them to make a career in your gym, on your platform, using the knowledge that you know now but you didn't have before. And you can do that if you set up these career roadmaps at least twice a year. And again, if you're in Two Brain, we've got samples for you to just follow. Now in June, I kind of tongue-in-cheek wrote, come to the Two Brain Summit, but I really think it's important, and that's why it's in this guide. I want to see you in Chicago. I want you to feel the power of being connected with 1,000 other gym owners in one room. It's really like an epiphany. It's like, okay, yes, we are changing the world here. Yes, it's a good time to be a gym owner. No, I'm not alone. I've got connection. I've got support. I've got a goal. I've got a plan. And all these people are going to hold me to the plan. It's so valuable. Come the first time. If you've never been, come on your own. Bring your spouse. That's great. The second time, bring your team. Because if they are fired up, man, so much more is possible. You will move so much faster. All right. The other thing I want you to do in June is partner with a local event. So let's say that there's a local 5K race or something else. Like maybe there's a triathlon or a swimming event or an obstacle course race like Spartan. What you want to do is set up a training group for that event. Now, you can have an official partnership where you're like the sponsor. Maybe it's a throwdown, right? Maybe it's a CrossFit event or something like that. Or you can have an unofficial partnership where you're just getting people ready for the big day. And so what you're going to do in a perfect world is partner with that event and say, hey, we want to help get more people to your event. We are running a prep course like Couch to 5K, and it's going to be 8 weeks long. Here's what we're charging for it. But the deal is that they all sign up for your event. Will you promote it? And in some cases they will. In some cases they might ask for a cut, but whatever. It's still a great partnership and they will push people toward you. If they say no, or if the event is too big, like it's an official Ironman or something, that's okay. You still run the event and you just promote it through your own media and your own marketing. And it's like 12-week prep course to run your first duathlon, triathlon, whatever that is. And you just set that up 12 weeks, 8 weeks leading out from the event and train people for it. You know, we do this all the time, and you can set up your own events and then set up the training for those events and charge for both, or you can partner with local organizations, which is what we prefer to do. So actually, I'll give you 2 examples. So in the spring, we have a local cross-country 5K that we work with, and we run a Couch to 5K to get people ready for it. We encourage beginners to join, and they promote it for us because they know that we pump runners into their event year after year. At the end of the year, there's nothing happening in December, and so we run our own event, which is like a powerlifting, weightlifting meet called the Super Meet. And then we run a training group to get ready for that, to optimize people's potential to perform well in our own event. So you can do both. Now, July, we're going to get a little bit technical. The reason we want to be focused on optimizing Google and stuff in July is that August is typically the worst month in the fitness business. Now, obviously, if you're in the Southern Hemisphere and you're listening to this, Australia, New Zealand, South America, Africa, the inverse is probably going to be true, right? Like January, February might be your worst months. So take this with a grain of salt. But ahead of that worst month, you want to be getting things in motion to create some revenue to help you kind of like ride the wave through that month. On the other hand, if all your clients are taking holidays, vacations, that's probably a good time for you to do it too. And so what we try to do is make extra money in July, boost revenue up, and then schedule staff vacation time through August, which is one of the most beautiful months of the year here. So what you can do is in July is set up your Google business profile and start doing Google lead ads. And the goal here is just set up a safety net to catch people who are looking for a gym. You want to be the top of the Google rankings. If you're pretty rural, this is really, really easy, but you have to stay on top of it. So you want to update, like Google My Business. You want to put a new post up on there about once a month. It can be a blog post if you want to. You want to keep your pictures updated, your opening hours updated, your contact info updated. You want to make your Google My Business the top of like a funnel. Then you're going to set up paid ads just to drive people toward Google My Business, and then they work through the funnel from there. So if you're not sure how to do it, you're in TwoBrain, there's a step-by-step course on this. You just go into the toolkit and you can get it. If you do know how to, if you're not in TwoBrain and you're trying to figure this out, you can literally Google it, and you won't get the clear directions, you won't get the video demos or the click here, copy this, paste it here, or the best practices, but you will be told how to do it. You just have to click a lot of different things, but you should do it in July. Now, in August is, I said, the slowest time of the year. We would usually try to generate revenue in August by having a competition set up for September. So I'll get into that in one moment. But while August is happening, you can set up your paid ads for your September surge. So September is usually the second busiest month of the year, at least if you're in the Northern Hemisphere, because September is when people's calendars and their schedules get filled out again. The kids are back in school, the kids are back in sports, the parents are done their holidays, they're back to quote unquote normal. September is the month of normalcy. And so you want them to include the gym in their normal behavior, and September is really when you want to get that started. So you want to, in August, set up paid ads for the September surge. You could use your Google My Business profile like you just set up the month before. You could use Facebook ads if you want to. They're still working really well, just maybe not as well as they used to, but they're still working better than a lot of other things. And then you want to do another coach evaluation. So in August, you're going to do your second coach evaluation of the year, and you're going to set up your paid ads. Now, look, if you've tried Facebook ads and said, oh, they didn't work, you probably didn't set them up properly. If you don't want to do paid ads, that's fine. Find another way to do it, or stick with like Google ads or whatever. But the point is that you need to be dropping more and more leads into that advertising funnel during August, because once September hits, you're not going to have a lot of time to focus on your ads. And so this August is the perfect time to set all this stuff up and get it rolling. And then you can just maintain it for the rest of the year when you're busier. So use that downtime to reinvest in getting clients for the rest of the year. Then In August, I want you to do 30 more goal review sessions. It might seem like you just did it, but the last time you did it was several months ago. And look, I told you, I think every group coaching client should get a goal review 3 or 4 times a year. If it's a personal training client or a semi-private client, they probably don't need those goal reviews, but the group training clients definitely do if you want to keep them. And so I'm putting down perform 30, but I'm just trying to get you in the habit. Really, you need to be doing these all the time. And it is a very high value use of your time, but it takes some practice to get it going. And it takes some reps to see like, oh, this is enormously valuable. I get referrals out of this. I get upgrades. I get better client retention out of this. Like this is really, really important and core to my business. People usually have to try it a few times to get in the flow of it. So I'm asking you to do it again in September. Then in October, it's time to start setting up your year-end promotions. So what you're looking at here are packages like pre-sales. You're looking for retail and you're looking for gift giving. So this is the time in October when you set up gift certificates on your website that people can prepay and give to a friend. This is the time when you put your packages together. So, hey, you can buy your package of 10 personal training sessions and give that as a gift. This might even be the time when you audit your sales binder and say, here's what we want to offer next year. This is what we do at Two Brain. What are we going to update in our curriculum? What are we going to change in our on-ramp program, etc.? This is a good time for you to do that. And it's a great time for you to offer these things to your clients. Another one that you might want to do is like a retail pre-sale. So, hey, we've got this amazing like long sleeve tee and it's on pre-order. So you're not putting out money in advance. People can click through the link. They can pay you. You hold the money. You order through Forever Fierce or whoever your retail provider is. They bring the stuff in and then you pay them and people have it in time for Christmas. You need to do that in October. In November, you're going to hold career roadmap sessions with your coaches again. Okay, so twice a year, you're going to sit down with them. How are things going? If you want to roll this into an evaluation period, you can. You said this was your goal. Here's where we're starting from. Here's what you can do to get closer to that goal. And that could be revenue-based, it could be time-based, it could even just be performance-based. Maybe this coach's goal is like, I want to get my black belt or I want to get my CrossFit level 3 or whatever that is. You can help them map out how they're going to get there, how they're going to pay for it, how they're going to make more money, how they're going to get more time off, how they're going to ascend in their career without becoming your competitor. Maybe one day they become your partner and you can plan that out too. All right, and then you're going to make your plan for the following year. Hopefully by this point in the year, you have started working with a mentor that's going to look at your actual metrics and break this plan down even more to say specifically, our goal is 5 new clients next month with a loss of only 2, driving this much revenue. We're also going to be doing XYZ to get you to your exact goal, get you a better living, keep your clients around longer, make a bigger difference in their lives, and create a more meaningful career for your coaches. Okay, that's what a mentor does. And a mentor, their job is to help you get there faster, just like your job is to help your clients get there faster. And then finally, next December, I want you to host a really fun in-house competition and party. We do super meet. So super meet is a combination powerlifting meet with weightlifting meet and weighted pull-up. So 6 max lifts. They have a 2-hour window. They can do them in any order, and their best lift wins. So if they want to just keep attempting deadlift for 6 maxes or something, fine. They can eat up their time that way. If they want to do the pull-up first, that's fine. If they want to do the press first, that's fine. I don't care. If they want to do the weightlifting stuff first, cool, no problem. But their goal is just like beat their record from the previous year. Then we have a potluck, and we adopt foster families. That's really kind of near and dear to me. And so every year we adopt about 70 foster families with 2 or 3 kids each. We buy them all presents. And the night of our super meet, the caseworkers come with vans and they pick up like these hundreds of presents. And you can actually see a video if you click the link in the guide here. So again, if you want to get this guide and get the step-by-step, you just go to gymownersunited.com. You're going to see it right in there. But if you don't, just put your hand up. Hey, Coop, can you send me that guide? I'm happy to send you the annual planning guide. All right. So that's your 2024 year. If you do nothing else but these basics, you're going to have a better year than probably you've had this year. Any plan is better than no plan. And if you really want to grow your gym, you need 3 things. You need a goal, you need a plan, and you need somebody to hold you to that plan so that you're not swerving all over the place. Because what gets you speed is focus. It's simplicity. It's knowing exactly what you need to do and doing that and not getting distracted by all the other million options that are like bombarding you every day. I know, because they're bombarding me too. That's why I have a business coach. That's why we're a business mentorship practice, because I know that as a gym owner, you also need a goal, a plan, and somebody to hold you to that plan. I'm Chris Cooper. This is Run a Profitable Gym. Thanks for walking through this book with me, and I want you to have an amazing 2024.